Shifters, Entrepreneurs on the Move, with your host, Amanda Barr, bringing you power-packed 15-minute conversations with entrepreneurs who share their stories of shifting in life and business to keep on the move.
I am so excited for our episode today. I have David Arregui, also known as Daivo, with Xigla Records, a music producer, singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur recognized by the American Federation of the United States as a musician with extraordinary abilities. Welcome to the show, David. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you very much. Doing great.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to dive into your backstory and what shifts you've taken in your world and to take us through a little bit of how you got to where you are today.
Well, I always had a love for music since I was a little kid, and I remember my mom, she used to take me to church, and I loved how the musicians would play every Sunday. So I started hanging out with a guitar player, and he taught me how to play the guitar. And then I started my journey as a musician.
And how old were you then? And you learned how to play the guitar then?
I think I was 12 years old, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, around 10, 12 years old.
And then what happened? I know that, as you were growing up, were you playing and learning along the way, or how did you continue with that at such a young age?
Yeah, well, so what happened with me is I started learning guitar with teachers in my high school and also with the guys from church. So little by little I started getting better and I started performing at the church. So that's where I actually got really good because I was exposed to the crowd, I was performing every Sunday. So it was a really good training for me. And then I started discovering audio engineering because sometimes there was nobody there to help with the audio engineering of the church. So basically I learned it myself, and then I started recording my own music. So I started doing music production and stuff, and then it kept growing and growing and growing and growing until I finally got a full scholarship to Berklee College of Music, where I actually study engineering and songwriting. So here I am.
Wow. So where did you come from? Tell them. Where are you originally from?
So I am from Ecuador. It's a country in South America, actually in the middle of the world.
Yeah.
So I was born in Ecuador, and I left the college when I was 33 years old. That's when I went to Berklee. Before that, I was studying college here, and I studied computer science. That was actually my first degree. Yeah. So it's really connected.
And then you dove in.
It's kind of connected with audio engineering because it's another engineering based on computers. So it's a really good tool to have. So and so you went through school, and then what happened? Because I know that coming from Ecuador, this is a new country. You're in New York, building your, knowledge and what you're doing, and obviously you're using that today. But how did you get to the West Coast? What was that journey like? Well, yes. Well, actually, I was studying in Boston. So when I went to Boston, it was my first time outside my country, and it was amazing because I was full of excitement. Discovering, living by myself for the first time. Living in a country I really liked since I was a kid. So it was really nice, but also it was really tough because my country, community is everything. We grew up surrounded with people, so all the time I was all the time hanging out with my family, with my sisters, my dogs, my grandma, everyone. So when I went to college, I started living kind of a different life. You are there by yourself. The culture here is more independent, so it was a shock for me at first. But then I got it, and I feel like it made me a better man, those times when you are by yourself and lonely is where you develop your character and you get to know who you are. So it was a mixture of experiences, but it was great. And then I always knew that this is the country to be if I want to make music, because LA is where all the music is made, even if it's for the Latin market. It's gonna pass passed through LA, you know, even I don't know, even in recording, mixing, or mastering, or songwriting, it doesn't matter the stage of the music, it's gonna pass through LA because here's where everything is produced. So I always knew that I had to go to LA after college. So that's what I did. I graduated Berkeley, and I was like, all right, I'm going to LA to start my journey.
Now, I know you're in the Latino vibe, and you've got some stuff to talk about. Maybe that shift to LA, and then starting your career, and what are some of the shifts you took? I know that. Thank you for sharing about kind of like what that journey was like just coming here. That's, you know, fascinating. And how has this birthed into the songs you write and what you do?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely was one of the hardest ones. But then also when I was moving to LA, you know, I won a full scholarship when I went to Berkeley, and this scholarship was amazing because they paid for my tuition and also for like my life. So I was chilling, you know, just studying. I also decided to work a bit in college and save some money so when I go to LA, I have some savings. But I only like save for 4 months living here in LA. So it was a big risk for me because I, like, the day before I came to LA, I didn't have a place to stay, you know, and I basically just decided to come with my guitar and my backpack. But everything worked out. Like, those 4 months already are like more than 2 years. And it was really, really interesting, a really interesting experience because you are coming from a learning environment to a real life environment where you need to make money from music, and making money from music is not easy, you know. But it's been really, really, really helpful to be here in LA. You know, there's a lot of opportunities here. So that's how it happened.
Yeah. Now, I've listened to some of your music. What inspires you to write what you are writing, and some of the things you've brought to the world?
Oh my God, there's so many different things that inspire me. Of course, there's always someone, you know. It can be a girl, or it can be a family member, or it can also be like the city where you're living in. For instance, when I was living in Boston, my music sound was completely different. As now that I'm living here in LA, it's like a completely different sound because here I am exposed to blue skies, beach, palm trees. So definitely the mood and the tempo changes, you know. So that's my inspiration. Like, the city where I live in, it's like a lot of inspiration. And also sometimes I go through things in my life that I cannot say with my words. So I rather sit down and just write in a paper what I'm feeling, because I have hours to express it the right way. So sometimes what I cannot say with my words, I can say in a song. So I like that a lot.
That's awesome. I know, thinking about that idea of like shifting, you know, writing can be very powerful through those times of maybe uncertainty or not knowing what to say or how to say it, and so that's incredible that you're using it and then making a song and sharing it in a different way. So and I know that you have a recording studio. Maybe talk about that. So you came out as a recording artist and kind of that passion, but what got you into the recording side, and how's that been all evolving for you?
Yeah, well, the recording side was always with me. So I have three main things that I've been doing my entire life, which is music as an artist, songwriting, and music production. They were always together. And when I went to college, I actually studied that. I studied the three of them.
That's right.
So I've been doing I've been doing the three of them all the time. So when I came to LA, the most helpful tool for me was music production, like making records for other people, my music production skills. So when I went to college, I started building my studio, you know, buying the gear, training myself with the best teachers, mentors, and stuff like that. So when I came to LA, I already had like some curriculum ready, you know, some portfolio ready, and some of my songs and music has been already in the charts internationally, and I had a chance to work with really big names in the industry. They were my mentors. So when I got to LA, I decided, you know what I want to do is I want to be producing records, and I want to open my record label. So I started doing that. So I started producing many records. and not only from Latin artists, because I work a lot for the Latin industry right now, because it's a huge industry. I think it's pretty much like the biggest industry in the world right now, the Latin industry. So I'm working on making records for them, but I'm also working in the English market. I'm producing like soul albums, pop albums, like funk, disco, stuff like that. So I'm working on that because that's my passion too. Yeah, and so my record label is offering all those services to the people that want to like actually make great music. And I enjoy it so much because I get not only to use my music passion, but also like my business passion, because I always been a lover of the music business, and like everything related to business, like developing companies, startups, and stuff like that. So having my record label also demand a knowledge of the business. So I'm connecting everything I like. So I'm having a good time.
No, I love it. I mean, it's incredible how you're able to marry all that. I think a lot of people wish they could be doing what they love, and you've created it and made it your world. Now, in terms of, I would like to know, like, if somebody's looking to get into the industry, or even if they're looking to, because you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're building things and you're helping others. So what would be a little bit of advice for somebody that's looking to keep on the move, and if they are struggling to get going, how can they get back on and keep moving forward?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the first thing you need to do is, like, everyone that is working in the music industry, they're doing it because they love it, If you're not doing it because you love it, you're probably in the wrong profession. Because there's going to be tough times where you cannot see, like, actual income or whatever, but what keeps you alive is knowing that you're doing what you love, So that's the first thing. And also the second thing is you need to get as good as you possibly can in what you're doing. So if you want to become like a songwriter or a music producer or a singer, whatever you are, you need to make sure you're learning every day, and you're comparing yourself not only to your friends, but to the best producers in the world. Because this is a really competitive world, and if you're not able to achieve that level of production or like excellence, it's going to be hard for you to compete. Don't put a lot of pressure in the sense like I need to be ready tomorrow. Just plan it as a future plan, something that's going to take time, because no one becomes really good at what they do like from the night to day, So just be patient with that, but be aware that you need to be learning every single day, doing your best. Leave mediocrity aside and try to be excellent in everything you can. Not a perfectionist, but excellent, That's my best advice. And always be open to network, Networking is key in this industry.
Yeah, no, I think those are essential nuggets. And yeah, we always like to say progression, not perfection. Just keep moving.
I love that one.
It's I love that one. I haven't heard it, but I love it. And yeah, I agree 100%. Those are some great nuggets. And for our audience out there, you've got some great music out there. I know every time I'm listening, I'm dancing and smiling and just love what you're creating for the world. And how can they find you? Where's the best way they can dive into the world of Daivo and your Xigla Records?
Thank you, Amanda. I love that. So you can find me in everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, everything that has music distribution online. You can find me, and if you type Daivo Music, you'll find what I make. And also, if you go to XiglaRecords.com, you will find more information about my record label and the artists I produce, and a lot of my sample work. So that's also a good place to find what I'm doing on my services as an audio engineer.
Awesome. And Daivo, just so you guys know, is Daivo. So you can find it super easy on there. And we are blessed because Daivo, we are going to share a little bit of his music on the way out of this podcast. So first I want to say thank you so much for being on the show. You've been inspirational, and we are definitely excited about what you're creating and how you turn different things that are not maybe expressed in words into a song, and excited to cheer you on. So here we go.
Thank you so much, Amanda. So much fun, all right?
All right. Well, let's enjoy some music.
They call me G. Dale, Daivo. Me llamaste el otro día para preguntarme qué se hacía. Yo por dentro sonreía, sabiendo que sería mía. Y nos fuimos para un bar, después salimos a rumbear. Siempre la pasamos bien tú y yo. A mí nunca me dices que no se enteren de lo que pasó. Yo te quiero aquí en mi cama y tú me dejas con las ganas, pero al final siempre me llamas para ser más que tu pana. Terminamos solos tú y yo, terminamos solo los dos, moviéndonos con el ritmo, sintiendo ese magnetismo. Terminamos solos tú y yo, perfectitos en el balcón, pasando la noche entera con el vida entre tus caderas. Terminamos tú y yo, terminamos tú y yo,
We hope you enjoyed the episode today. We appreciate each one of you for listening and hope you left inspired and motivated to keep on the move. If you think this episode might help or inspire someone else, please share. Don't forget to subscribe and keep in the loop to hear more incredible stories of entrepreneurs like yourself on the move. Thank you for our supporters, RTB Capital Group, Financial Powerhouse, Callcast, and Power Podcasting. Now, get out there and keep on the move.